my soul is very much with pharma and biotech company.
Okay.
Since then, since last week, I was striving very hard to get into the pharma. Today, I got an offer. I'm very happy for that, and I found out my true interest in pharma only, and I aspire to be a leader. Thank you very much, Arun, for your help.
Okay, thank you so much, and I really appreciate your commitment and your passion towards this side. And I look forward that whatever best possible things that you can do to take actions in whatever goal that you have chosen to, and we look forward that that's the point here, is that you should come back and talk about your goals, how you are building it up and taking this ahead. Anybody else before? Okay, I have a clear vision after attending this program. Okay, great. So wonderful. So do you want to say anything? I just want to say, if you want to say anything, just use the chat button and put your hands up so that I can then take it up. Okay. So if there is no hands coming up, so let's hold for time. Friends, let me re-emphasize, because see, I am little more concerned with this program very clearly, is that the whole idea of this program is not just a gyan that I want to give all of you. It's not a, yeah, sorry, who is this? Anybody, please mute your line. In case if you have to speak, please raise your hand. I'll unmute you. That's the discipline that we all need to follow. So Satya has to say something. Okay, let me unmute you. Yes, Satya, over to you.
Hello, am I audible now?
Yeah, very much. Go ahead.
Sir, I want to tell that my vision was from last 2-3 months was to make myself available at home as well. Because see, what I was getting most of the complaint from our family, that I am not putting time with the family. So my vision was to spend quality time with the family, because we were going early in the morning to the job and coming late, and most of the time we were busy in our laptop and mails and everything. So what I have done now, I have purposefully, after coming to office or before going to office, I have purposefully made a habit of doing quality time, and it has helped me a lot. Now I'm happy with this vision.
Okay, wonderful. So yeah,
I don't know whether it is fruitful or not, but I thought I should share it. This is also important, because most of the time we get complaint from our family that we are not spending quality time with them, and most of the time busy with the work.
Yeah. So I totally, Satya, I echo your point. Thank you so much for putting it up. See, the whole idea here again that I would like to add here is that if whatever goal that you have set, because many a times we focus only about promotions, we talk about more money. Of course, it is required, but at the same time, you need to also look at it, your work-life balance. And if you are not able to do it, it can be your goal. So goal can be anything for anybody, for any industry you are representing or any role you are representing. The most important part is that, are you able to take a stand as a leader? Are you able to really find out? Because if you are talking all about leadership in your job, are you also taking care of your family as well? So totally appreciable. Thank you so much. So I think we have one more participant, and this is the last one that I'm taking. And then Rakesh. Yes, Rakesh, over to you.
Sir, am I audible?
Yes, you are audible. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. First of all, good evening, sir. Myself, Rakesh from Jalandhar, sir. Actually, this is 4th time, sir, I am attending your session, sir. I just want to thank you very much for shaking my soul, sir. I must say, sir, for this.
Thank you so much.
Because I was into very comfortable position, sir. I was working according to my company's choice, sir. But after attending all your webinars, sir, now I am making it as per my choices, sir. What I need in my career, sir, how can I shape my career, sir? Now these type of questions are coming into my mind, sir, and I am looking forward for some answers, sir, to accomplish what vision I have set for myself, sir.
Wonderful, wonderfully said, and thank you so much, Rakesh. And friends, this is the whole idea, all about it. If you can wake up your person or wake up a giant within you, I think there is nothing better than that you start realizing what potentials you have and what exactly is your mission in your life that you are here for. You are not here to, nobody is here to make some money and then struggle for the whole life, or by paying your EMIs or something. Everybody wants a very comfortable life. Everybody wants that there has to be a lot of direction that should be in your life. And if you're struggling somewhere, then you need to stop and you need to start thinking about it. Now, I don't want to get into the gyans, but at the same time, I also want to share some of the best practices that are done by leaders, some of the best practices that each one of you or each one of us have to imbibe, so that we can make our journey more comfortable, not only for ourselves, but families and a lot of people around us. Maybe it is your bosses, your friends, because this impact is not limited to only you alone. A leader means that it's your behaviors are going to reflect everywhere. And that's what the whole idea is, friends. Great. Thank you so much. And every time when I come here, I want that people should think about what actions they are taking, what decisions they are building, they are doing in their careers. And is that helping them? Is that really helping them? Because I can tell you, friend, the biggest challenge for today, all of us, is to change. And if we are not able to change, and if we are able to change, I'm sure we are going to create an impact. And that is only by, understanding and gaining a lot of knowledge, experience from each other and going forward. And today, I'm sure the activity that we are planning or we have planned is also like that. So I have already mentioned in the WhatsApp groups that you need to have a pen and paper, because today I'm going to challenge you I'm going to share with you one of the very important exercise that I do in my coaching sessions, which I'm going to do it today. Let's see how successfully I do it over here. So before I get into that activity, and I will definitely seek a lot of discussion, but I want to share, first of all, what are the best practices a great leaders do, whether they are your managing directors, your regional managers, or they may be your senior managers, or they are directors, or whatever, or even your, biggest of the presidents. So anybody who is doing the work of a leadership, what are the things that they do? Can you think of any leader whom you aspire or whom you look forward to, always you look forward to? What do you think what are the things, at least 2, 3, 4 things that they do? Can you just write 2 things at least on your chat box, and let's understand that where are we? So I'll give you 30 seconds. You can think about it and you can start writing it. Let's try to build up a momentum here, and I'll gulp some water in this time. So you need to specify, what actions do they take, what do they do, and how they make themselves successful. Anybody who is around you, who inspires you, whom you follow, or whom you have seen very closely. So just think about 2 actions. Thanks. Yeah. So let me see what are the responses. Okay. They develop a team. Okay. What else? Okay. Let me go back. So time management, they lead from the front. Rakesh is saying they are disciplined. They are practical. Satya is saying the speed of the leader determines the speed of the team. Courage, develop successors, setting an example. They inspire. I'm sure each one of us is quite well versed with what do they do. But anybody, what do they do really? So there are certain actions. So one is you're writing there, they coach people, and patience is the key of a leader. Wonderful. Jishan, they lead from the front. Crisis management, yes. So you can imagine what is the leadership job is loaded with so much of responsibility. And if you make a mistake as a leader, everybody watches you. The day you make small mistake, and everybody says, see, he's wearing a bad tie, or what did he say? Even a single word people catch. So if I have to give an example, that if Modi says a single alphabet even wrong, everybody knows it in the next morning. So that's a very courageous position to be in a leadership role. You can't say that, you want to be a leader and you want to hide yourself, or you want to be a leader and you don't want to face, I would say, critics from people. And I'm sure each one of us have a choice to, decide on the leaders. So let's understand that how leaders really behave, what leaders generally do in their practice, and what makes them successful, and what do they do repeatedly. What do they do repeatedly? I think this is something that we need to look at it, because as I said, that each one of us will undergo so much of pressure related situations in our work that we do, we may get distracted very often. And I'm sure there are masses, as I say, it's like a pyramid structure. In pyramid structure, you will find that the masses are always at the bottom and the qualities are always at the up, whether it is number of people you are talking or the money people are earning, and the masses are always here. And why the masses are always here? Because they get deviated, they get distracted, and they give up in between. There are few people who don't give up and they decide to go up and up and up in spite of all adversities. They are the one who lead and reach the top of the pack. No doubt it takes its own time. Some people reach faster, some people reach little more time, but they don't give up. But many a times people who give up in this cycle, they just fail and they remain here itself. So you need to look at and decide yourself, where do you want to be? You want to be in the bottom of the pyramid, or you want to go to the top of the pyramid? So if you want to go to the top of the pyramid, you need to know what you need to do, what exactly these people do in the top of the pyramid. And that's what I'm going to share today. And I want you to see that what you can practice. It's very important. And more important is the time, how much time you take in terms of deciding that you have to do this and not giving up. That's the practice of leaders. So let's see what are the 5 good habits of great leaders. So there can be, hundreds of good habits, but some of the habits that I felt that are very close to my understanding, I have added over here. So first, very important thing is build strategic thinking. So if you can think strategically, what exactly strategically means? Can somebody tell me what strategic here means all about? I'm talking about individual. I'm talking about a leader. Can somebody tell me what exactly strategic means here? Anybody? Take 10 seconds and just type it on your chat box. Okay, so Durga Prasad is saying the roadmap. What else? How to reach your goal, value building. Okay. Prioritizing your work, actions move forwards the goal. Okay. Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much. So here, the point I'm trying to make here is that build strategic thinking. If you look at people who are in the top, they differentiate 2 words very clearly. Are you strategic? Are you operational? Now, if you look at it, most of us in our role, we get into the operational work. Why? Because we are generally into the execution part. We are not into the planning part. And when we are not into the planning part, we tend to make a lot of mistakes because we are into operations. You're running in the front and you're just running. Your role is only to run. They don't want you to think. Now, this is something that you need to look at it, that if you are able to create a map, what exactly strategic map that you want to go ahead with, whether it is your own business plan, whether it is your own company, whether it is your own business, or whether it is your own territory of your own people, how you are planning it. And I'm sure each one of you will agree that in all your seminars or your developmental programs that people do, they first ask you to make a plan. And what is that plan is all about strategic plan. And how that strategic plans happen, first it starts from thinking. Today, every great leader is differentiating from another leader is because they can think better than others. They can think of better solutions than others. They can think of, they have the power to think of how to move ahead in certain areas rather than just starting and reflecting to a given situation. So they think, and they think a lot before they take any action. And that's where the point is, what they think is strategic. And how it helps them in doing a strategic thinking, they look at how their 6 months or 1 year is going to be looking like. If they have to be in 6 months or 1 year in some place, what they need to do. So this is a strategic thinking that you need to build for yourself. And if you think about this thing very clearly, if you are good at that, you will be able to make your visions. You will be able to get your goals very clearly out of that. And that's one very important criteria, one very important habit a great leader has of building strategic thinking. Second very important area that, can somebody please mute, because somebody is not muted. Please check your buttons, and if you can do that, that will be real. Inquisitive thinking. Now, anybody knows what is inquisitiveness or what is inquisitive thinking? Anybody? before I really move forward? Let's use your chat buttons. What is inquisitiveness? Okay, so Ajit is saying is depth in thinking. What else? Yes. So Manmohan, very good, very right. It's internal curiosity, very close to it, right? Okay, curiosity. Yes, wonderful. so, yeah, eagerness. Wonderful, Shivaji. Very good. So habit of probing. So inquisitive thinking. So a great leader will always have a great habit of inquisitiveness, because one is they already know what they know, but they also want to know what they don't know. I hope I repeat it. So not only they know what they know already. So many a times I don't know what I know. So I don't know what are my strengths. So many a times, when the situation comes, I struggle myself. So inquisitive thinking means that I need to know what I know. And second is I want to know what I don't know. So I'm always inquisitive to learn something new. So they always have this kind of habit. These great leaders will always have that kind of habit, and they are always evolving. They cannot be like 20 years back or 5 years back. If that used to happen, this doesn't work. And that's what I think I shared in one of my article a few months back, which are you a squeezed lemon? If you are not changing and evolving with time, what will happen? You will be redundant. People will say that you are of no use. I'm sure if any one of your bosses or manager comes and talks to you, I used to work like this and let's work like this. First thing, you will start disliking him. You say that this man is not with the times that we have today. And the reason is that person may not be able to change. And who are these people generally? All of us. And this problem of learning new things become challenging with people like us who have crossed their 35s. Those who are above 40, it's very difficult to change. I can't change my father. He still struggles, with the smartphone. And I keep telling him, you have to just press this. And he says, I can't press it. Don't tell me all these things. And that's the problem. So as leader, your inquisitiveness should never be out. You should always be curious to learn things. And that's something very, very important as a habit. And you need to develop that habit. If you don't have that habit, you need to start identifying yourself, whether I can build this habit. First, I need to know what I know already and what I need to know to go to that pyramid top level. Let's see what is the next habit we have. Big picture thinking. Now, I'm sure this big picture is known to many people, because in all your meetings, in all your forums, your big people, your senior leadership teams, people would be coming and saying that, think about the big picture. Now, can somebody tell me what is big picture means? Vision is saying, Satya is saying vision, macro. What else? What comes to your mind when it comes to big picture thinking? They say, think big. Don't think too small. You're thinking a very small target. You're not thinking about big. Don't look at your targets. So can anybody else? So use your chat box. I'll give you 30 seconds again and do that. So Jishan is saying broader thinking towards your goal. Yeah. So let's unleash that. Yeah, complete picture in mind. So wonderful said. So Tarun, outcome after good amount of time spent. Yeah, but you need to look at the big picture. That is a total area, So for example, if I am setting up a business and I want to see that only I put a salesman and I start generating the value, but I'm not forcing that only one salesman would be required, or whether I need a person at the marketing end, or whether I need somebody at, for business development, or maybe an IT development. So I need to look at the overall scenario. I can't say that I'm here to fight for 1 day or 1 week or 1 month. I'm going to be here for 10 years. I'm going to be in this market for 100 years. I'm going to be in this company for 10 years. I'm going to work in this location or whatever headquarter that you are, or in this role for minimum 5 years. So if I have to be in that, you need to create a big picture. Now what I have to do, if I have to remain in this company, let's say you have decided that I'll give 3 or 4 years to this organization, what else I can do? Now it's my role. Now that's like a big picture you are setting up for yourself. What all I need training, I need development, I need to support my boss, I need to work with my peers, I need to get in touch. It's not that, my role is confined only to whatever territory or the market that I have. It has to be the big picture you need to see. And that big picture is only clear if you go back, the build strategic thinking. If you have thought a very clear plan for you for the next 6 months, 1 year minimum, you need to look at it, what you are doing right now and what you need to do it later. Then you create this big picture and you start putting mini milestone that, these things are I must have if I have to go up the ladder. This is something that you need to look at it from this big picture here means. So what else? Result oriented thinking. What does it mean? Can somebody write? What is result oriented thinking? Most leaders are focused on result oriented thinking. After they have clearly built their plan, after they have clearly built their big picture thinking, they work on it. Yeah. So don't stuck at one point, that think about all possible solutions to stay ahead of competition. Yeah. Give a timeline results. Okay, Raj is saying this. Okay, envision future, goal oriented with action. Yeah, wonderfully said again. Goal oriented with action. So result oriented thinking. Come what may, I will bring that results. I'm not going to come and share an excuse story. So I remember, friends, I'm just sharing that I used to take interviews and I still take interviews. So when I used to take interviews, I used to talk what happened after that when you did not achieve that particular thing. And gentlemen used to say, sir, after that I came back and I did not find anything. Who will take that person? Or who will like that person in the team? When somebody says, you went there, the door was locked, I could not find anybody and I came back home and I could not do it. And there's another gentleman who says, I went there, there was a lock, I spoke to somebody, I asked where this gentleman is, he gave me the phone number, I called him up, I waited for 2 hours, I made sure the lock is open. And who will like such a person? So result orientation. And I'm sure each one of you knows what result orientation means. So delivering, so whatever role you are in, and if you are focusing on result orientation, very important, and that too timely. You cannot say that, something can happen after 6 months, which has to happen in 1 month. So you cannot say my customers are going to give me business, but you need to be patient. Of course, you need to be patient, but where is your result orientation? So you need to bring this up very clearly. This is another very important habit of a great leader. And the last but not the least is rely on shared thinking. Now, what is shared thinking? What is shared thinking? Can anybody tell me? What is shared thinking? Anybody? You rely on others' point of view. Yeah. Closer to that is taking opinion of the team. Okay. Involving others, Raj is saying. Okay. What else? Rely on shared thinking. Collective decision making. Okay. Trusting colleagues. Okay. Ajit is saying think from others' perspective. Okay. What else? Okay, well attempted. Thanks. So here, what the point I'm making is that rely on shared thinking. Now, when I say rely on shared thinking means that you also need to learn as a leader what others leaders say and do the best practices. So you need to go and follow certain other leaders and hear them out. So what you're doing right now here is it's like a shared thinking. You are trying to understand what are the best practices are happening in other places, what people are doing in the other places. So you need to imbibe and extract the best out of it. It's like being Eklavya. I'm sure all of us know what Eklavya did. He never got a trained teacher. He just learned it only by imbibing and following Dronacharya. We all know that. So you need to be the Eklavya. You need to have that shared thinking. You need to look at what people are doing. Even if you are not a part of that, you can still imbibe and get that, because it's, for me, it's my selfish end. And I can tell you, if 20 or 25 people who are sitting here, you can make out that there are 250 people in the group, close to, and only, you can say the 10% of the people are over here. What does it mean? That I don't know. What does it mean? I mean, they may be busy, but at the same time, all of you have decided for yourself that if something is going to add value to me, that's why you are here for. And that's precisely, you need to do it whenever you are there as a leader. You need to keep your eyes and ears open and keep looking at people whom you admire, follow, learn out of it. What exactly they do? Do they follow these 4 or 5 steps? And then start building your own plan. So one thing, if you look at these 5 areas, the word thinking is very common. And that's what the next point I'm going to make it. The best leaders are usually the best thinkers. Start today to learn these habits and cultivate success. The best leaders are usually the best thinkers. So they think. When they think, they make a plan. The only difference between a great leader and a good leader is the difference of thinking fast and thinking first. These are the 2 things they do. They think fast and they think first. But what do they do most importantly? In fact, I'm just sharing this. In March this year, I attended an event of Brian Tracy. I hope, how many of you have heard about Brian Tracy? Just type in your chat box if you have heard about Brian Tracy. Okay. So Tarun is saying yes. Okay. So people have heard about this gentleman. So he's one of the greatest motivational speaker from the US, and he's close to now 75 years of age. I had the pleasure of listening to him this year in Delhi, and so the entire event started in the morning at 8:30. The house was fully packed with 1,500 plus people, and he came in the evening at 7 p.m. to give his speech for 40 minutes or 50 minutes. And the first thing that he said in his speech is that, whether it's a small organization or it's a big organization, the first thing that he said, the only problem they have is sales. Sales is the common denominator of all the problems in any organization that you do. Second thing, he said that about the difference between rich people and poor people, the difference between successful people and unsuccessful people, the difference between great leaders and bad leaders or good leaders. There is only one difference, and that is thinking. That how you think, how you ensure your thinking process is so strong that you are able to bring a lot of such things which are written over here into the table. So this is something good leaders practice day in and day out. And in thinking, how do they do that? So they listen to, this is what I'm saying, they listen to great speakers, they read great books, they put their time and mind in building positive energy for themselves. They don't waste their energy in shouting, yelling, and wasting their time on criticizing others. Their only focus is that they learn from others, they start practicing those things, and then finally, it helps in their brain to create that thinking model very, very fast. And that adds to their experience. So do you all connect with this? Are you all with me? Just type yes. If you have understood this, if you have liked this, if you are really going to use it, just type yes. Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah. Because this activity also helps me to see that, you are just with me and not flipping your phones or something else on some other chats that are going on. Wonderful. Thank you so much. So try and see that if you can imbibe such practices in your day-to-day work, and see that how you can build this one particular area, at least pick with one. And today we are going to do that exercise. And so do you want to do that exercise with me? This is a grow model, which I do in my coaching with people, and I'm going to do it with you. And as I said, there's nothing involved in this. It's only you who are going to do this. How many of you are keen? Okay, great. So today I'm going to do a small exercise. I hope all of you have a pen and a page ready with you. And the next slide that I'm going to share about is a grow model, where what I do is, in this model is, I normally ask questions to people and I want them to do that exercise. So you do this exercise for yourself, and this is going to take some time. And I want you to do this exercise for yourself. And then I want you to take action. That's one commitment I want from you. And I want, when you start taking action, it may take 2 months, it may take 3 months, it may take 1 year, it may take 6 months, but I want you to report your actions. If you report your smaller actions that you are taking, I'm not talking about results, I'm talking about actions that you have taken. Results are definitely going to come. So let's go ahead and let's do it. Let's do it as a team. and let's join our hands together to ensure that, we follow some best practices and create a positive energy for all of us. Okay. Now, okay, that's a slide that I normally talk about, and we are going to do it in detail. This is how we talk, and this is exactly going to happen because today we are on the left side. This is the starting point, and we are going to decide your goals, which is on the top. But friends, there's a journey in between, and this journey is always very, very tough. It's a zigzag journey. It's not a straight journey. Every time you start setting up your goal, tomorrow morning, something will come on your way and say, stop, don't do this. You are not meant to do this. You have other 10 priorities to do this. And the moment you see the first arrow, it start going down. It start going down. And then you need to look and challenge yourself. What is my dream, desire, and idea that I thought that's where I started? And then you start moving a bit up. But this only happens when you start taking efforts, though small, but regular. So this is a challenge that I'm showing you before we start that exercise. This is the challenge you all are going to face it. So you be ready with this challenge and give a commitment here that you will beat yourself. You will beat that mind in you who always stops you. You will say no to that mind, and you will say only yes to that mind who is going to give benefit to you. So are we all ready? Okay, cool, great. So let's move ahead and see. So friend, this is what I say. This is a grow model. A grow model is how do you grow yourself. So this grow model is all about goal, reality, options, and way forward in very simple words. So how you work out this, just hold for a sec. So this grow model is all about how do you grow yourself with respect to goal, reality, options, and way forward. Now, how am I going to do it? I'm going to ask you questions, and I'm going to give you 30 seconds to 1 minute each, because it's a series of 16, though there are questions were at least maybe 50 plus questions, but still I have narrowed it down to only 15 or 16 questions. You need to answer it yourself in your notepads and think about it. And if you are not able to do it, you can do it later on, because we need to respect time. It's I don't know what's the time right now, but at the same time we need to respect time, and we need to go with the flow and do it. And then we are going to discuss this next time. So the first thing is okay, goal. Okay, so Ajit is saying the audio is break. So I'm saying that this is a grow model. I repeat it, no problem. I repeat it that this is a grow model, which is talking about how you are going to set your goal. That's what I said in the morning, in the evening. You need to be ready with your pen and a pad. I'm going to ask you certain questions. You don't have to answer it here. You don't have to type it here. You need to type it or write it down in your systems, in your notepads, what actions you are going to take. Because the whole idea of this whole program is that how you start making a habit of writing your goals in the correct way. Start writing those areas which are always bothering you and challenging you and stopping you in doing that. So you need to overcome that. And what are those things that come always in between? So you need to first write it down. Many a times we start thinking, I know this is the problem. I know I can do it. But later on, I have seen that people say that I'm not able to do it. So today we are going to unleash that and talk about it. I hope my speed is good and I'm audible as well. Okay, so the first question is about goal setting. So whatever exercise that we are going to do, you need to start writing it. Now, what you must accomplish in the next 12 months. Now, this is a very simple question in goal setting, which I always ask. What you must accomplish. This is the one thing that I do it in my coaching sessions. Sorry. What you must accomplish in next 12 months. So if you are not ready with the thought, you can note down this question. You can write it on a piece of paper and respond accordingly. 2, what would you like to focus on today? When I say today means that if you want to achieve something in 12 months, what do you want to start with now? So now means if you have to reach those 100 steps, what would be your first step? What exactly you want to achieve? The third thing that I generally ask is, what challenges are you struggling at the moment? So you need to write down these things. You need to write down what are the challenges that you're struggling with. If you write it down clearly, you know what are your challenges. So giving an example, the challenge is I don't have time to, do all these things. I have a very busy schedule. I leave in the morning and I don't come back. So we have the example of Satya, who set up a vision for himself in reaching out to his family and giving a quality time. So we all can do this as long as we are clearly identifying what all our distractions that we have and how do we negate. So maybe you are watching a television for 2 hours, you need to cut it down maybe for 1 hour. And if you want to do it, this is for yourself. If your traveling time is too much, you need to find out an alternative and take a book along with you to see that, how you are able to save your time. So I don't have to give you solutions. I'm just giving you examples that how you can find solutions. So first thing is that you need to set your goal very clearly. What you want to accomplish in the next 12 months? What would you like to focus on today to start with? And finally, what challenges are you struggling at the moment? So you need challenges means what are the areas that you are not able to do it, that you don't know X or Y thing. Because if you now go back and remember the polling that we did, most of you said that you want to go to next level positions. And if you want to go to the next level positions, you need to be ready. And I think 67% of you said that you are ready already and you are trained enough to take it. So I'm sure this should not be a big challenge. So in the grow model, the second is reality. So let's see, what do we have in reality? So what's working well for you at the moment? So you need to also understand that what are your strengths. So if you remember in the last slide which I showed, I very categorically mentioned that you need to know what you know and you also need to know what you don't know. So it's something like that. What's working well for you at the moment? What is giving you success so far? Whatever is your strength areas. So you need to understand that reality, that if I have to achieve a next thing, what strengths that I have, or how do I build that strength? That's a reality check. Second, what have you done so far to improve things? So so I know that there are certain things which are challenging. So I am taking actions to improve those things. So what are those things that you are taking and done so far to improve things? The next thing is, what's the excuse you have given yourself always for not achieving your goals? So now think about it. Now this is something going to challenge your thought process. What's the excuse you have given yourself always for not achieving your goals? So I can tell you there are many people, and I think generally people give the examples of gyms and morning walks, but I can tell you people are not even ready to make their own business plan correctly. And when they don't write the business plan, I don't know how will they achieve their business plan. So whatever it may be. So you need to write out that if you don't know how to write it, start doing it right now. Maybe if one plan you write, it is not good. Second plan is not good. Third is not good. But I can tell you the seventh and the eighth plan will be much, much better than the first plan. I can tell you with my own example that when we started this webinar, it was very difficult. There were only 3 or 4 people who got to know about it. And today we know that how many of us know about it. And my own way of doing things have changed. It has become more interactive. So everything takes time to improve upon. When I made my first video on the social media that I posted, I was shivering. I was not even able to, speak when I speak so well. So now I think I must have made around 15 or 20 videos, and I think still I have that that nervousness, or the adrenaline level still goes up. But at the same time, I still feel more comfortable. So the more I do it, I become more comfortable. So I always start challenging those points which are challenging in achieving my goals. So try and do that. So that's a reality check you would do. What next? The next is options. So what do you think you should do first? Now you have to think about it, that if you have 5 things to do, what are the things that you would like to do first? If money and time wasn't a restriction for you, what would you do? Sorry. So many a times, each one of us feel that, that I don't have money, or because of time, I'm not able to. अगर मेरे पास time होता तो मैं ये कर लेता. अगर मेरे पास पैसा होता तो मैं ये कर लेता. So if you remove these 2 points and you still want to do it, what would you do? So you need to start thinking about these options. And then if you are guaranteed to succeed, what would you do? Very simple. If you are guaranteed to succeed, what would you do? अगर आपको मालूम है कि you are definitely going to successful, so what are the things that you will do? So for example, if I know what is the question paper, how will I still prepare myself so that I can score 100 out of 100? That's why people say nakal ke liye akal chahiye. So at the same time, if I know what is the question paper in hand one day before, how will I work on it that I should achieve that goal? But even for that, you have to read and study. So the point is that if that is given, so those options you need to start thinking, but more importantly, that you make yourself ready for taking that action. Now, the last point is way forward, how you take it way forward. The way forward is how committed are you in reaching this goal? I think I use the word commitment consistently. It's time from the time I started talking about it, that you need to commit yourself, that how you are going to reach this. And that's the way forward for anything that you do in your life. And on a scale of 1 to 10, how motivated are you to achieve this goal? You need to keep writing this, that what is my motivation level, why it is going down. Many a times only a delay in the action can bring your motivation to zero level, just because you have delayed. You thought I will do it tomorrow. So maybe some of you will think that I will write this plan maybe tomorrow when I have time. Somebody will say I will do it tomorrow after my meeting gets over. And I can tell you the 4 days, 3 days will go and your motivation level will go down like this. And the moment it goes down like this, you will say, okay, let me wait for the next program, or next time when I'll get time on Sunday, I'll do it. And I can tell you it will never happen. That's my personal experience. It happens to me as well. But I still see what are my core priorities are, and I first give that priority. Even before sleeping, I can tell you that I'm ready with I'm going to work on it, on the next article that I have to write, and I'll ensure that by Thursday that article is published, or by Friday morning, at least positively it is published. And if you look at it, after this event is over, I sit for half an hour, 1 hour, I study more, and then I think about some of the instances, and then I write an article. And by Thursday, it is almost ready, and on Friday, I publish it. I don't know how many of you have read those articles and probably would have joined this program webinar out of that small initiative. So yes, Tarun is saying one of them is you. So that's the whole idea. So sorry. So if you delay this, there's no point, So you need to take action before you sleep. And I'm sure each one of you would have seen this. So work on this GROW model. It definitely works for you. Now, this is possible, friends. Now try to see all the points that I have mentioned. Now, this is possible only and only when you have been very clear about the previous step of what best leaders do. Strategic thinking we talked about. We talked about the big picture. We talked about the result orientation, reflective thinking, shared thinking. Now, if you connect all these points, if they are all in your mind, then I can tell you that all these 4 points will become very easy for you to answer for yourself. And as I said, you don't have to share it with me. You have to keep it with yourself. Only thing is, if you want to improvise, you can share it in the group, and then we can help you in shaping it up. But at the end of the day, you need to be very clear what are your goals and how you are going to achieve it. And I am happy to see the results if this program adds value to you. So are you all with me? Are you clear? So right, I'm clear. I'm going to do it. My commitment, I'm going to do it. Just type it on the chat box. Let me see how many of you are really committed. I'm committed, right? I'm committed. That's enough. I'm committed. And this commitment is to yourself. I am committed. So I'm committed. I'm going to do it for myself. I have already done this and I'm committed. So do this commitment to yourself that you are going to do it. And once you're going to do it, it is, of course, going to benefit you. And I will be more than happy and motivated and excited to see if you have done this and you are taking action. Results are definitely going to come. Visibly, results will come. You need to follow this. And this is your own goal that you're going to do. So thank you so much for all the acknowledgements. And let's move ahead. Okay. So I think I have already mentioned about what's the excuse you have given yourself always for not achieving your goals. Finally, we come to the last section today, and this is a story time. So how many of you want to see a story before you want to sleep? Are you with me? You want to listen a story? Okay, so let me see how many of you are really interested. So many times people sleep while the story is on. So I'll not bore you, but I'll try to connect the points that I wanted to share. Okay, good night story. Yeah, it's a good night story. Yes, so people are excited. Wow, cheers. Wonderful. Okay, so let me share a very small story, and let's see what learning that we take, because stories always helps us to retain the thinking process, and we remember stories, right? So the story is starts with a very simple story. It's a story of a farmer, and this farmer was happy and satisfied. Now, very simply, why he was happy? Because he was satisfied, and why he was satisfied? Because he was very happy. So since he was happy and satisfied farmer, he used to live in a small town, and he used to farm his field and grow crops, manage his family very nicely. The world was going cool for him. Everything was too good. He was maintaining good crops. He was getting good money out of his crops. He had two children and the life was going on very well. Though no doubt he had to work very hard, and like all farmers, they work very hard. So he is one of the farmers who also had to work very, very hard. And basis which whatever he is able to generate, whatever he was able to get, he was not only to save some amount of it, but also take care of his happy family, two kids and a wife, and very nice, peaceful environment that he was living in. And what happened? All of a sudden, after a couple of years, one day a sage came, a wise man came. And a wise man came and he met this farmer and advised him that no doubt you are doing great, but if you want to do further big things, if you want to achieve bigger things in your life, you need to have a lot of diamonds. This crops or these things are not going to help you much. They will give you only this much, but if you want to achieve this much, you need to have a lot of diamonds, and diamonds are all around. So you need to search those diamonds, and this is where you can get more land, and more land means more crops, and more crops means more money, and you will be a rich man and you will be able to make it. And the moment this wise man came and left, by the time it was evening and the sun was setting, and this guy was feeling little disturbed, and by the time it was night, he was thinking about the diamonds and how those diamonds can change his fortune for the lifetime. He kept on thinking, and by the time it was middle of the night, he got up and he was highly unhappy and dissatisfied farmer. So why he was unhappy? Because he was dissatisfied what he is doing currently. And why he was dissatisfied? Because he was unhappy that why he doesn't have thought about such diamonds even before. And okay, so I don't know, I got a message. Last slide, please. So last slide is the same slide. So he was unhappy because he was not satisfied. Now there was a message that was going in his mind continuously, that what should he do? What should he do though, so that he feels again happy and satisfied? So for that, he has to search for diamonds. So one day he decided, after a week, he decided that he will send all his land, he will sell all his land and go out of this place and start searching for diamonds. So what he did, he sold his entire land, made his family well versed with the funds so that his family doesn't have to worry about it, give them a peaceful amount of money so that they can manage themselves for the years that he's going out. And he moved up. He moved out, and he moved out of this place in the search of diamonds. So as he moved out, it took him some more time in going from one place to another, searching for diamonds. He was going into jungles, rivers. He went across the areas wherever was possible that he could find and search. And after a bad search, after all the efforts that he has put in, he felt very tired, irritated, frustrated, and finally he committed suicide. And that's where he ended his life, because he could not feel satisfied and he could not feel happy. Now, what happened on the other end? The guy to whom he had sold after 1 year, the gentleman whom he had sold the entire farming land, now this gentleman was taking care of all the crops and stuff like that. And one day there was a sunlight that was going through the water, and this gentleman found something, the new gentleman, he found something which is very shiny, and he took that shiny things out and he kept it in the home. And on that day, this wise man again arrived in that place, and he said that, has that farmer came back? And he said, no. Then he said, how did you get this piece which is shining so bright? He said, it was in the same land where I was farming, and that's where I found this particular piece. And he said, friend, this is a diamond. And he said, no, sir, it's not diamond. It's just a shining piece, and it was shining in the sunlight. And because of which I just picked it up, and it is kept into my room. He said, no, I have a full knowledge that this is a pure diamond. So what he did, next day morning, this wise man and this farmer, they went to the same field and they started digging the field. The more they dig the field, they found small pieces of this shining material, and they sent it for a test in a lab. And finally, they found out that they all were diamonds. They all were diamonds. And that's where the story ends. So this person was richest and very rich overnight because he got the diamonds from the same field, which the previous farmer could not find it. And that's where the story ends. So any learnings before I share the learnings in this forum? What are the learnings that you get out of the story? Any learnings that you would like to acknowledge? Yeah, so diamond is within, not outside. Wonderful. What else? Yeah, wonderfully said. Tarun is saying we all have requirements within us, potential within us. We need to explore ourselves, look in ourselves. Okay, wonderful. Gold mine is under us. Yes, wonderfully said. Yes, wonderful. So perform in the present company. Yes, very correct. Explore more in your current situation rather than finding a new situation. Wonderful. Perfect. Perform in the present company and the role. Your best company is your current company. Your best role is your current role. And the best team is your current team. And your boss is the best boss, even if you don't like it, but still that's a fact. And friends, that's the that's the learning that I would like to also share here, that when our attitude is right, we realize that we are all walking on acres of diamonds. Only thing is we need to identify our attitude. Second very important thing is the grass is always greener on the other side of the fence. As we all see, the grass is always greener on the other side of the fence. And that's what, sometimes appeals us, that, something on the other side, on the other company or on that role is little more meaty, I should try. What else? While we are dying for the grass on the other side, there are others who are dying for the grass on our side. So people are always looking at, if this man leaves, I will go and sit on his position, and I'm always dying for it. And they would be happy to trade places with us. And that's what happens. And that's what happens. The moment you leave, there are 5 people who are ready to join you. There are 5 people who are ready to really move into that role. And this is precisely, you need to look at it, that whatever you have in hand is the best thing that you have. Don't miss it. Don't lose it. Rather work hard on it and work on those leadership principles. I'm sure you are going to get much benefited out of it. So as I say, this is the last slide, and I want you to caption this. Can you caption this slide? So normally in my presentations, in my programs, I put one last slide for the audience to caption it, whatever comes to your mind. So it's very simple now. So you can see 2 sides, which we have already discussed. So think, I'll give you 30 seconds. Don't worry. You can think and type. We have time with us. Yeah, Tarun, very rightly said. It's half empty or half full. It's only my view, how I want to see it. Perfect. Yes, anybody else? Yes, so opportunity is same for all. How do you want to see it makes a difference. Thanks, Raj. Okay, so one more comment, and then we can then just take our feedback, and then we can close this meeting. Okay, so what you see that you get, perfectly right. So if you see problems in your current situation, rightly said Manmohan, you will only see problems. You will only see negativity. If you want to see positivity, it's up to you. Perfectly right. It's all in your hand. So thank you so much, friends, for giving your time. I have definitely recorded this session, and we'll see that if I can post this on by the end of the day or soon. I would look forward to your feedbacks. You can share your feedbacks on WhatsApp group. I need to wind this up. And thank you so much once again for being here. And we will be meeting you all next Tuesday, same time on 12th of December. And we are going to come out very soon with a lot of new programs, and you will hear that soon coming from us. Thank you once again for being with us on this night. Thanks a lot.